Representative Hussein moves House File 3004 to bring that before the committee. And my plan is to lay this bill over, members, just to confirm. Representative Hussein, there's the A3 amendment, author's amendment, which I know changes the bill to turn it into a competitive grant. And I know there was the other change as well that we discussed. I'm trying to recall if maybe staff, Micheline, can you just remind me what the other change in the A3 amendment is, if you recall? Oh, thank you.
Chair and members, the A3 amendment takes the 26 appropriation out of the bill, since that fiscal year will be closing in June, and puts all of the money into fiscal year 27. It also converts the grant program into a competitive grant program instead of a direct grant to a specific named grantee.
Okay. And Representative Hussein, you're moving the A3 authors amendment?
Yes, move.
Okay. Thank you. Any discussion into the motion, members? Seeing none, all in favor of approval of the A3 amendment, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. That motion passes. Representative Hussein, to your bill, sir.
Thank you, Chair and members. Good morning. House File 3004 is about access to opportunity. Minnesota already has workforce training programs, but this is a unique and a little bit different. This is a challenge of awareness. Many young people simply do not know those opportunities exist. Today, whether it's a student finds appropriate training, often depend on who they know, not where to find a great job opportunity. If you have connection, you learn about your job. If you don't know, then you might never know. This bill created a digital platform, which is bring all workforce opportunity in one place in the state of Minnesota. And this bill came from the young generation who's right here today with me to testify. So I'll yell for them to explain a little bit more about the bill.
That's good. We'll rely on the young people. So please make,
Samir Mohammed.
Yeah, please make your way on up. We'll have the first two testifiers, I think, both of you. Come on, take a seat. And also Maitreya Reader, feel free to come on up as well. I will tell you, we've got 10 minutes allocated for the presentation of the bill, just sort of for timing as well. I'll look to Mr. Nathan, my constituent, and Mr. Rogers as well, just to be aware of that for timing. But we definitely want to be giving our time to our young people. So if you can, whichever of you is going to go first, please identify yourself, say who you are, and then proceed with your testimony. And welcome to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samia Mahmoud, and I'm here as a youth policy intern with Catalyst for Systems Change. And I'm here to explain what Catalyst for Systems Change is and what exactly this bill aims to do. So Catalyst for Systems Change is a nonprofit that works with young people in rural, suburban, and the urban areas of Minnesota. We came together last year in November to identify youth legislative priorities so we can help pursue them, connecting with legislators and hopefully getting them passed throughout the legislative season. So the bill that you see in front of you is an initiative to try and get more kids interested in the workforce. And I want to talk about what this bill actually aims to do. So it expands access to workforce opportunities. I want to say that many young people, especially in rural areas of Minnesota, do not have access to equal workforce opportunities as suburban and urban kids do. Many young people, especially ages 15 to 23, don't know where they can find internships, apprenticeships, mentoring, or entry-level jobs. Opportunities are scattered across different websites, schools, nonprofits, and private employers. And this aims to create a centralized digital platform where students can find internships and stuff like that with Catalyst for Systems Change to help them expand on that. We literally watched a presentation today from these wonderful ladies, I do not know where they went, on how important it is to kind of expand our workforce with the age population who is in the workforce right now slowly declining, and as we are getting older and students are not having the same amount of access to the workforce, there should be a solution to that. And we see that there are programs out there, but nothing is centralized. Students don't have the access because there's no advertising or any communications between these programs. So our aim is to bring it statewide, make it one digital platforms for students to have an equal opportunity to do something that they are passionate about. And thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I ask, have you testified in a legislative hearing before?
I have.
Okay, it's good. Yeah, you are. Yeah, because it's
I'm also a speech and debate kid.
Well,
so.
I'm not surprised. I think you're probably prize winning. I'm gonna bet. So
That's one of the wonderful programs that we're funding in the state.
yes, wow, good. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. To our second testifier, please identify yourself and proceed.
Yes, thank you. My name is Matri Reeder. I am a resident of Minneapolis and a senior at St. Anthony Village High School, and I'm also the 2025 awardee of the National John Lewis Youth Leadership Award. And I would also just really like to reiterate the importance of what my colleague Samia just said. My life has been changed irrefutably and completely by the opportunities that were available to me in high school, including the nonprofit Catalyst for Systems Change. When I started high school, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I was then exposed to internships, extracurriculars, jobs, and people that absolutely transformed that fact. At 17, I joined Catalyst for Systems Change, and I passed a piece of original legislation through this state legislature, implementing my own idea of overdose response training and health class curriculum. And I am now graduating with a strong interest in policy and government and an intention to major in political science in college. And I helped my community along the way. But almost every single opportunity that I got to take advantage of, an organization that I got to work with, I had to discover and I had to pursue completely on my own, which is an unrealistic expectation of every single student in Minnesota. Every day I see other youth like me who are so passionate and so driven about things that they believe in, but they simply lack the resources and the knowledge to get involved. And something that I always say to the youth that I work with is that you do not need to be older or more formally educated to have a voice in democracy or to be an effective participant in the population. You need to be informed. And it is the duty of the people with the information to then spread that information. And if we make this information accessible, youth engagement won't depend on what or who you know, it'll depend on your willingness to serve. Because one day all of your seats will be filled by people from my generation. And I hope that you value expertise, experience, and that willingness to serve in a politician as much as I do. Because this is how. So I'm in full support of House File 3004, the Youth Workforce Digital Platform. This is an investment in the future of our population and the future of our democracy and workforce, and I strongly urge you to vote in favor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If we were feeling discouraged about our future workforce in the first half of the hearing, I at least am feeling a lot better now. So really terrific.
And Mr. Roger,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
start
come on,
with
yeah, come on up.
you. And Joe.
Yeah. Welcome, and yeah, please identify yourself. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly right. Except that I suspect he's been working with those two, so he can have some of the glory too. Please identify yourself and proceed. Good to have you here, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you, Chair and committee. My name is Khalik Rogers. I'm the Executive Director of Catalyst for Systems Change, and it was a tough act to follow, as you
Yeah,
clearly see.
indeed.
Just to be completely honest with you, the goal and the epicenter of why this organization was created was this very fact that, my journey of getting here was like jumping off the porch into a street full of fog. It's not oftentimes that young people have the clairvoyance or the direction that, or just the mentorship or stewardship that they actually need.
Right.
We expect young people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps when in fact they don't even have boots. And this is an opportunity for the state to actually listen to the priorities of young people and also listen and take not just their voice, but their direction of how they receive information, how they spread information, and how we can actually listen to their innovation that they deeply have. I also just wanted to state, for many young people, opportunity is not limited by talent, but it's limited by access. When you lack connection, it's hard to build relationships. If networks shape opportunity, we must give every young person a fair chance. In the recent weeks, youth across Minnesota have shared their fears and uncertainty are affecting their ability to participate in school, work, and leadership opportunities. When young people feel they are more engaged, when young people feel unsafe or disconnected, they're disengaged from experiences that shape their future. Workforce pathways are strongest when they reflect what young people identify as their interests and strengths. When youth can explore careers aligned with their talents, creativity, they are more engaged, confident, and prepared to contribute to Minnesota's economy. And I think after these different presentations we've heard today, it's important to have more of a cross-sector collaborative effort that aligns these systems because they are deeply integrated, and at the epicenter of those issues lies the lives of young people and their future. So please support House File 3004. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and I think to my Joe Nathan, you're going to be testifying as well to my
Good
constituents.
morning,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, members of
Thank
the committee. My name is Joe Nathan. I have been a public school teacher and administrator in this state, as well as a researcher since 1971. I'm old. What I want to suggest to you is four things. First, in 2015, the Minnesota legislature on a bipartisan basis passed something called the attainment goal. The idea was that because of extensive research, the vast majority of jobs would require some form, not necessarily a four-year degree, but some form, a certificate, a two-year degree, or a four-year degree, the vast majority. And so the legislature established what was called the attainment goal. It wanted by 2025 to have at least 70% of all the groups in the state, African Americans, American Indians, Native Americans, Hispanic Americans, white, low income, all groups to have at least 70%. Not a single group attained that goal by 2025. Part of the problem is that we have not made effective use of the programs that we have. We have talked, some of us have talked about, for example, PSEO. I want to tell you the good news that we had a hearing earlier this week showing that there was bipartisan support for establishing a committee, including young people and including educators, to examine how that law, which allows the state of Minnesota to save $15 million a year for taxpayers, as well as $60 million a year for educators. There's a desire to have a study of that to see how we can more effectively prepare young people and more effectively use the tax money that we already are spending. So our proposal here is to take a look at the document that you've received where you see literally dozens of websites, but no central place. And we have convened young people from all over the state, from the Duluth area, from Moorhead, as Representative Baker knows from our past support and work with him, from the Wilmer area, all over the state. Young people don't know where to go. So we are asking for a small appropriation. We recognize your dollars are very limited. We're asking for a small appropriation to involve young people this summer or next year and make a report to you in 2027 about how we can more effectively gather the information and share it to young people via social media. They know more about TikTok. They know more about various social media platforms. We have enormous amounts of money going into the creation of these websites, but young people tell us they don't know about it. So we respectfully request a small appropriation. We respect that that a number of you don't want to have direct appropriations. We respect that. We want to try to help you make the best possible use of the taxpayers' money. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nathan. Members, I want to make sure we can get to the final bill, so we have to keep comments relatively limited, but I want to make sure if somebody has something they want to ask about or comment, please do. We'll see if we have anybody. We're not seeing anyone. I'll just, Chair Frazier, were you? I wasn't sure. Okay. Oh, yeah, Chair Frazier.
I just want to acknowledge these two young people again.
Indeed.
Thank you for being here. I mean, I'm a girl dad, so I have all daughters, and seeing you today made me think of my daughters. Very proud of you and what you're doing and what you're accomplishing.
Indeed.
And this is why we have to invest in our young people. Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell that's a sentiment being shared all around the table. uniting all of us, which is nice because it doesn't always happen. So appreciate that. Okay, good. Well, I'll say one of the reasons that I wanted to hear this, besides the importance of bringing young people into the workforce, is we are looking a lot at how we can make sure that workers are more aware. I know Chair Baker and I share this. Workers are more aware of the opportunities that are available. We just have a system that is sort of working as effectively as possible, and this seemed like an exciting thing to examine. So we'll see what we can do in terms of budgets and have conversations, but so grateful to the folks who brought this to us, especially our younger testifiers and our slightly less young testifiers, and still grateful to you as well. And Representative Hussain, thanks for your work on this. With that, the chair lays over House File 3004, and thank you again to all of you. Appreciate it. And then Representative Jones.
I just want to remark close.
I'm sorry, Representative Hussain. You do get your closing. I'm so sorry, sir.
No, you
so everybody,
do.
hold on. I'm taking that back. Representative Hussain gets to get final comments as the bill author. Please.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate it. This is a platform organizing opportunity into one place for student, parent, and counselors and employees. This bill does not just create an opportunity, it refills opportunity. When young people can see a pathway, they are more likely to work it. And this is a great bill. This is a beautiful bill. I want you to guys all support it. Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you. So with that, the chair finally does lay over House File 3004. Thank you, Representative Hussain.